Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go, go. Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go, go. Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go,
The Clever
go.
Flat Track Pod is brought to you by our partners 193 Racing, MX Inc., Classic Wheel Spokes and Otway Hydro Blasting, Rider Sport, Euroka Fencing, and of course, Clever Flat Track products. They support us, so go support them. Now on to the episode. Go Flat Tracker.
Before we carry on with this episode, I'd like to introduce our latest pod partner, Trac Rite Suspension. Whether you're a racer or a weekend warrior, Trac Rite have got you covered. Okay, so here we are for another The Clever Flat Track podcast. And today I'm joined by two beautiful ladies, Ange and Lori Gow. Tom is off bludgeoning as usual, so he's not joining us today. And we're going to recap, which was an awesome weekend, in my opinion. I know Ange is suffering, and actually I am too, just from the travelling and then getting home and being busy non-stop straight away. I'm not sure we haven't asked Laurie how she's feeling yet after the weekend. Pretty damn good, I think. So before we get into actually talking about round 5 of the AFTN at Griffith, we're going to get to know Laurie a little bit. And just I try not to be too boring, but it sort of is. I mean, we want our listeners and viewers to know about you as well. So we have to ask all the obvious stuff, how you got into racing, how often you race, do you do different disciplines? Yeah, give us a general idea, and you can tell us your age and where you're from too, if that's okay. You can lie about your age. No one will really back you.
Darcy, you can't ask a woman how old she is.
I can when it's not my wife.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm 26, so I'm on the closer side to 30 now, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
But I grew up of 4 girls, so I'm the third daughter. Most people say, "Oh, your poor dad. He must be, got to put up with 4 girls." But when all 4 of your daughters learn to ride motorbikes, I think he's pretty lucky. So
Yeah.
I sort of grew up riding with dad. We did mostly sort of bush riding actually through the years. And then Dad and I went to the track one day and we did a little bit of a dirt track. I think I was on like a 110 or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we just had heaps of fun. And that's what it was always all about for Dad and I, is he always would just say, go out there and have fun. It's nothing serious, just go out there and have fun. But yeah, the competitive nature in me, I suppose, decided I wanted to keep ramping it up over time. So we got a 150 and then we got a 250 and then we got the 450. So we've just sort of been ramping it up. I think I probably did more racing when I was a teenager, and that's when I met my now fiance, Tom. And we did like the Golden Wheels, which was all through sort of like the Griffith region.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and we took a bit of a pause, and I suppose I'm maybe just slowly getting back into it again now. I probably don't race as often, going through uni and now having a career and a mortgage as well. It's trying to
Yeah.
find the time and the motivation and the money to commit to racing.
Motivation, time, money. Which order would you have that in? Do you think that stops you going to the track the most?
Probably time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recently just sort of like building a house, we've got to finish all the landscaping, and our family is always so busy, and yeah, probably time.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
So you never did motocross or anything like that? You just went straight to track? Is that because Trav did mainly track, or did he do a bit of motocross and that stuff?
We
Stuff
didn't
sort of.
really do much motocross at all. If anything, we'd do some more enduro
Oh
or
yeah.
grass track, those types of things we would do. I've definitely done motocross practice days here and there just for like fitness and a bit of fun. But I don't know, the jumps scare me a little bit, to be honest, and
Yeah.
being jumped on or something like that. So not a lot of motocross, but we've definitely done plenty of enduro riding and some grass tracks in there as well.
Yeah, awesome. And are you brand loyal? Like, I've seen you on a few different bikes. Is there any one brand that you've really sort of got attached to over the years of racing?
Well, I'm definitely a Honda girl now. We had a Yamaha previously, And then I did have a Honda 150 before that, so I would probably say I'm more of a Honda girl. But I'm pretty lucky that our local gas dealer often lends out the what are the demo bikes. So
Oh, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you'll see me on a gas potentially in the bush sometimes too.
Have I
Yeah,
seen
right.
you on a Stark at one point as well?
Yes, yep,
That was last year,
yeah,
2024
yeah,
at
last year.
Skylift.
Yep, at Skylift, and we were trying to do Bathurst on the Stark, but unfortunately the Starks didn't have a good weekend that weekend.
It was you and Kirkness?
Yeah,
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 that's right. Yeah.
Oh, so Curtis's start played up too, did it?
yeah, they all did.
Yeah, right. Because it was that and we're not trying to bag Stark here. I'm just interested in that because I do feel that there is a place for electric bikes, and I would like to see them progress and to see them in our sport more. He was riding it at Appen, and I think it went pretty well there, which is it's a bit shorter than Bathurst, but it wasn't. It was just a bit of a weird problem, wasn't it? It wasn't like
Yeah, yeah, because I had ridden it at both Broadford and Albury as well,
yeah,
and we didn't have any problems there.
yeah,
It just happened to be, yeah, Bathurst, and I think, yeah, just flat out for a lot longer.
yeah,
But it just, yeah, it sort of just turned itself off so that it didn't overheat, I think is what they got to in the end, and
yeah,
it sort of did like a fail safe, and the motor just cut out.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
right.
Hmm.
So was that your Stark that you were riding, or was that like a demo that you were sort of
Yeah,
trialing?
it was our local dealership, so Buzzers Bikes and Bits. They've got the Starks and the gases there. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
was their bike, so that's why I didn't want to push through and race on in case I damaged it. So we decided to yeah, think it was unsafe. So Dad actually travelled all the way back to Albury that night and went and picked my 450 up and drove all the way back to Bathurst and got back at 2 a.m. I
Oh,
think.
that's crazy.
Oh, your dad's a legend. I do have to say that. Your dad is an absolute legend. I've never seen a bloke that's so keen to help flag, which is really, really lovely.
Yeah,
He's
hi, Travis.
yeah.
Oh, no, I just will never forget. So obviously, like for me being on the committee at the like at Griffith here means a lot of the times the flag rosters fall on my responsibility. And so we had a practice day and Laurie's come along to the practice day. She's mentioned to me as she's signing on, oh, Dad's here today, so if you need a flaggy, Dad'd be happy to. I said, oh, I think we've got it sorted, but like I'll definitely keep him in mind. Thanks heaps. Next thing you know, good old Girdler, who I had specifically sweet talked into doing a round of flagging for me. Good old Laurie's dad's come into the sign on shed. Oh, I want to sign on just in case you need me to flag. Gerds is sitting there. Oh, you can do my flag session in round one. And I'm there going, no, you're going to do your own flagging, mate. And I think they worked out a deal with, I think Trav got a steak sandwich and a can of Coke or something for lunch for going and doing Gerds' flag
No
roast.
wonder he is keen to do the flagging.
Yeah, he
Get
always
a
gets
free
what he
feed.
wants.
Yeah, I'll probably
I
my
said
arm
to
for the
Gerds, I
breakfast.
put you on the roster to set an example. Um, and I said, and then you just go and palm it off to someone else. I'm like, bloody hell.
So
Smart.
yeah, rider's point of view. Uh, what do you think of the Starks?
Love
Starks.
them. Yeah,
Starks.
absolutely love them. I think they're a great build, a great design. The instant torque and the instant power is incredible. Like it's so cool. I think everyone needs a chance to be able to ride them before they can have an opinion on it.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Is my opinion. I really enjoy them. Obviously, we didn't quite get to the point of being able to race it at Bathurst, but on the two other tracks that I've ridden them on, as well as in the bush as well, they've been really fantastic. Yeah, really like them.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Now, pretty much everyone that I've met that's ridden one has said the same thing. Chaz, Chaz Hearn. It might have even been the same bike. I'm not sure, but he said it was mind blowing. So Yeah, I'd really love to have a crack on one of them. And there's a few competitors out there now too, which a few Chinese brands and that as well, which they might not be quite as fancy, but they're getting pretty good reviews. So
Yeah, and they'll continue to develop and get better.
Yeah, good. The only thing I struggle with is that they're silent. So I'm very reliant on the sound of like the motor and stuff like that to know when I have to change gears and all the rest of it. And so I just completely lose any ounce of focus when I'm on an electric bike. So yeah, they're not my cup of tea, but that's my inexperience.
I'll see
Yeah.
you had a ride on one, Ange.
Not on a Stark. I have been around them. I did try. They're not allowed. They're not recognized in the MOMs, but the amped Surons.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had to go on one of them around our track, and I think I did 2 laps, and I not being able to sort of hear like obviously like revs and things like that to sort of know when to change gear and all the rest of it was a bit problematic for my riding ability. So like I said, I've retired from my professional racing career now and
So this weekend just passed, what was it, 10th, 11th? Is it the right dates?
11th,
Yeah,
12th.
11th to 12th, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we all went up to Griffith, which is Angela's house, which she didn't invite me to, so I was quite upset about that. But anyway, it
You've
was
got
a
an
nice.
open invitation. You come to my track once, that's it. My gates are always opened.
Yeah, righto. I heard you're telling people off about what was it? Oh, actually, I won't go there because I can't remember all the facts. Anyway,
I was going to say, me tell someone off. That doesn't sound like me.
oh, you did send someone over to give me a hard time, though. I can't. I don't even know who that was, unless he was just dropping you in it. Guy with a hat and blonde hair, come and crack some Kiwi jokes.
And I sent him over there.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Or he just dropped you under, threw you under the bus.
Blonde hair. One of the committee.
I don't know. He had like a high vis top on and a baseball cap, work boots. Looked like a tradie.
Oh, that would have been Roachy. Did you have alcohol in the pits or open shoes on?
Me? No, no.
I don't know why he would have dropped me under it, but I will speak to him about that because
Well, just if it was you, Rachel, I just dropped you in it. But
the only one I
anyway,
can
we
think
made the
of.
journey up to Griffith, which is an oil track. I was actually really confused because on the 20 something of September, they sent out one set of sub-regs, and then on the 7th, it went to a different box in my email, and they set out the one that they were running on. So I had no idea of what was going on, but the guys I was pitted with all got me up to speed pretty quick. And yeah, the format was quite different. As most listeners will know, these events are usually over 2 days, an oval on the first day and a TT on the second day. But this one was all smashed into one day, which Ange and I were talking off here before. It did actually run seamlessly, very smoothly. There was quite a bit of action. A few purple flags were waved. Yeah, a few get-offs for people that don't understand that one. People fell off. And there was a lot of women racing, and that's why we've got Lori on, because on the TT, definitely you dominated. You had some massive leads. Now, I was curious, do you think that is thanks to your bush riding? Because I sort of got bush riding vibes myself when I was cutting laps around, like, yeah, the sort of way you come into the corners. You could just, I don't know, felt like sort of railing the rut sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I suppose my dad and I were reflecting on it on the way home, and Dad seems to definitely think that, yeah, the bush riding, your lefts and your rights, were a big help. But I also think that the practice day that we went to at Griffith 2 weeks prior to that was probably also a massive help to me in being familiar with the layout of the track and, seeing some of the other guys and their lines that they were taking, and just getting more confident on the 19s as well. Like that was my second race ever on that setup. So yeah, a combination of all of those things.
Yeah, you just stole another question. That was going to be my next one. I knew you hadn't been on them very often. So second time, that's really impressive. And what do you you get so many different opinions about the Aussie dirt track setup 2118 compared to the 19s. I would say it's 50-50 when I ask this question. How do you think changing over from one setup is to the other?
Well, I think I've found my jam. I'm really
Yeah.
in setup. I think this is probably the best I've ever ridden, the quickest I've ever been, and probably the most confident that I've felt on a bike before as well. I just feel like I can really trust the tires and push a little bit more than what I probably would have done on the other traditional setup.
Yep. So
It's
that's about it, 50-50. So yeah, half of the people I ask that question to will answer just like what you said, and the other half will say, "Oh no, they're totally different. It feels totally different. I can't get my head around it." And yeah, it's bizarre, and I think that's riders that are more. Would you consider yourself a more adaptable rider, like because you do the bush riding and that sort of thing? You've ridden a few different bikes. You might have ridden a few clunkers as well. I always lay that down to why I can adapt quickly on a bike. I may not still be the fastest, but I never had any trouble when I went from 2118 to 19s.
I
I
know
thought it went great.
I know it took Gerds a while to fully convert to a 19 setup. It took him a little while. I think what I've sort of noticed, like from my perspective, Laurie, I don't know whether you'd agree with me. Um, Now, obviously being a racing official, I see and take notice of so many different riding styles. And I think sometimes your compatibility with the 19s comes down to like how quickly you adapt to them and how well you adapt to them comes down to your riding style. Like I know pre 19s Neil was, quite loose, quite erratic almost on a bike, whereas now on the 19s he's a lot like, he's a lot more smooth, he's a lot more controlled, he's a lot more calculated. And I've like recently for me, like obviously going down to the Albury Club and officialing for the Vic titles, I saw some of our local riders who I'm so used to being on that 1919 setup revert back to a 2118, and they didn't seem to have that same level of control and things like that. So I can sort of relate to, like, what Laurie's saying in a sense of, she trusted more. Like I feel like the 19s almost give you more control. So if you're more of a loose, erratic kind of rider, it's probably going to take you a bit more time to gel with
Yeah.
a setup that probably restricts you from being able to throw the bike around willy-nilly like you would normally, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think you're on the right track. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does make sense.
I'm probably just the type of rider who I don't really think about setup. I really don't mind what the bike is doing. I'm literally the type of person who will just get on and go for a
And
ride.
go.
It's probably more so like my fiance Tom and Dad who care probably more about the bike setup. So I suppose I internally probably have a lot of trust in them in the way that they've
Yeah,
set up the bike that I just get on and go for a ride and have fun. Right back to when Dad and I were doing it when I was 12 years old. It's the same thing. He just says, go out there and have fun. So I think there's probably a bit of trust in between the team that makes
yeah,
that probably a little bit easier for me too.
Yeah,
definitely.
awesome. And so you said that was second time on 19. So was that your second time on oil as well? Or have you ridden oil before?
No, I've de definitely ridden on oil before. I've done probably a lot more on the hard oil at like the Tamora track.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was When I was at the Griffith practice day 2 weeks before the AFTN, I was thinking, when was the last time I was at Griffith? And I was like, oh, it's probably over 10 years ago. And it was, yeah, 12 years since I'd ridden out that track.
Yeah.
So I suppose I've had a bit of experience on oil type surfaces, but it was, yeah, 10 years ago. So a long time.
Yeah, that's a long break between drinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Ange, you go.
Oh, you're right. I was just saying to Laurie, like Griffith Track's probably changed such a considerable amount in 10 or 12 years. Like I know how much the track's changed, not in like the superficial things, but just like the actual track itself has changed so much in the 4 years that I've been around, let alone a 12 year
Yeah.
hiatus.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yep.
So yeah, where I was going is just like, did you feel sort of good straight off the bat, like from qualifying one? When you went out there, you went, oh, this feels good. And did you increase your speed or did you sort of keep the same times?
No, as far as I know, I just continued to, once I worked through a little bit of traffic and got a clear sort of track to myself, I just continued to bump up the speed there and there
Yeah.
in qualifying. Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you think of the TT track?
And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is pretty sharp. This is going to test my little body on a big bike. But I think I loved it. And I think I honestly surprised myself when it got to the racing. Yeah, how much it did suit me.
Yeah.
Don't be, neither of you as competitors need to be polite because I'm here. Like,
Oh no, no.
cut
I
loose.
actually, well, because I went, my group, I was in Clubman, and I went after Pro 450, and Dan Leonetti came in, and he goes, "Oh, it's physically demanding." And I'm thinking, "Oh, well, that's good because my fitness isn't the problem. It's just my brain and holding myself back. That's normally the problem." But yeah, I went out, and the first session, I sort of went, "Oh, yeah, it is pretty physical." But I was just trying to be smooth the whole time. And then I was watching the other classes, and then the second time I went out, and I was blipping a bit more out of the corners, so using my gearbox a bit more, and that made it a lot easier. It's because you sort of using the bike instead of when I was trying to just flow and go smooth. It wasn't turning as sharply and that, so I had to manhandle it a little bit more. But once I dropped the gear and would sort of get a bit of slide, square things off, and then blip it and then slide again, it was much better. But yeah, no, I reckon it was a lot of fun. And I actually really liked doing it first instead of normally with AFTN, you do the oval first, or in this case, the dirt track first. I actually really like doing the more physical one first. I think it really worked. And then when you got on the dirt track, it just made the dirt track seem so easy.
I liked it too. I think it worked in my advantage to have the three races of the TT first. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Because some of your competitors, you've had some strong competitors in there, and you could tell whether it's bush riding or whatever you want to lay it credit to, or just the years of riding in general, they are missing something in their toolbox. Let's say that they weren't near as comfortable. So yeah, I think it worked to your advantage. And we didn't let the cat out of the bag, but we sort of. I'm going to now. Congratulations, you won round 5 outright, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, you didn't make the other rounds because I think you would have been fighting for a championship spot. And it is amazing that we now have an Australian woman flat track champion. I think it's fantastic. 3.5 years ago, when I started selling 19-inch wheels, people were laughing at me and saying this is never going to fly. Now we've got an Australian woman champ. We're on our third. Is it third or yeah, third year of having an Australian flat track champ as well. So
It's
I
awesome.
think it's amazing, and it was great that competitors like yourself have turned up to support the female class. I've always been a little bit on the fence about whether we really need a female class, but in your opinion, do you think you need a female class to get up on the podium? Do you think you're capable of getting on the podium against the boys as well? I know it's a bit of a touchy subject, but I just like to get everyone's opinion, and because there's definitely female racers out there that I think could get up on the podium against boys. but
Yeah.
you would have to train you would have to be 100% dedicated and train extremely hard.
Yeah.
Those guys are pretty crazy. I mean, watching the battles between old school and new school was fantastic. I don't know if you appreciated it, but watching the young fella, Billy Ryan, battling against like Tom Armstrong and Mick Curtis and even Thomas Herrick. Sorry, Thomas, you're getting older. Uh, um, yeah, I thought it was really, really good, but they don't hold back. So, yeah, I started tapering off, but yeah, answer that question if you don't mind, the best you can.
Yeah, it is a good question, and it's probably a question that been asked plenty of times before. Of course, I'm biased because I am a female, I am a woman. I do think a separate women's class is good for the females who are younger or they're new to the sport. I think
Yeah,
in order to get your confidence and your rider ability to improve over the years, I do think that we need that separate class so that they can expand their skills. I definitely do think I do enjoy racing against the boys. Whether or not we have the ability to get up onto the top step, I definitely think, as you said, if you put in 100%, you definitely could.
yeah,
Um, but of course, I don't know, maybe us females have maybe this little thing in the back of our mind that says, we've still got to go to work. We've still got to cook dinner tonight. We've got to look after the kids. We've got to do all these maybe
We're a lot
society.
more calculated, aren't we?
Oh
Yeah,
no. Well, you are. You definitely. I live with a house full of ladies, and yes, you definitely do overthink and get into your heads a lot more than men do.
Oh, tread carefully there, Das. Tread carefully.
Well, you do, and but
It's
I
not
still suffer.
overthinking, it's
I still,
responsible.
yeah, yeah, you're more responsible, but I still have those fears. Yeah, I think it holds
yeah,
me back. As
yeah,
you get older, it definitely holds you back.
yeah,
It gets harder to let go and go as hard as you can. But
yeah,
some of those guys, I don't know, are just wired differently. Been doing it so long that it's not an issue. I don't know what the answer is. But
yeah.
yeah, thanks.
I, I do think that the women's class can provide just as much entertainment as what the men's class, if there's
Yeah,
enough of us.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well said. Yeah, I do too. And the racing wasn't boring. Not at
No.
all. So
There's some
I would.
absolutely great female competitors on the circuit, like Brittany O'Brien, Taylor Street, M. Scott, I mean, Kelsey's out with injury, but Kelsey Jensen, there's a few other girls down Broadford Way as well. Like, there are some great competitor Katana.
Yeah,
Um,
Molly Ferry, Katana
yeah,
Robinson, even Katana's sister. We don't see her enough, but it's good when she comes out. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, Paul Miley, she's had a rough year with injury. This year she's out after injury at the Akubra, but yeah, there's a great foundation, I feel like you could call it, of women out there that are racing that can set an example and become role models in the sport for the younger girls who are coming through the ranks. I mean, you've only got to look at like the junior 85 class at the moment. You've got young Lucy Heaton New battling it out with the boys, and like, yeah, she's competitive. She's a fierce little rider.
yeah, and
She
her older sister's great too.
yeah,
I've forgotten her name. Sorry. We'll
Tilly,
see it on the list in a minute.
Yeah,
You
Tilly.
keep going. I'll bring it
Tilly,
up.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think the more that we
yeah,
as females who are riding can show and demonstrate that it is doable and we can put up a bit of a fight to the boys or, provide an entertaining class as just the women's. I think if we can continue to empower and show that to other females who are younger or who are afraid or I definitely think we can motivate.
mm.
I think it's getting more popular.
If I can make a knee-jerk decision at 34 to get over my fear and learn to ride a bike, albeit extremely slowly, anyone can.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't matter what pace that you're going at. If you're out there, I think, that's the most amazing part.
I mean, my bragging rights are I raced against Taylor Street at Griffith not too long after she'd gotten her title. And so she's wearing the number one plate, and coincidentally enough, my race number was 89 as well. And I my biggest flex was in 4.5 laps, I got lapped 3 times by Taylor Street, and I was proud. I was wearing it like an Australian title. Yeah, so yeah, no. I often get quite twitchy watching you girls out there thinking, "Oh, maybe I should," but then I look at Levi in the pram and think, "Oh, that's gonna hurt if I injure myself."
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely, I totally understand that. And I think, yeah, we probably, maybe females more, maybe males don't. I don't know, but maybe we all have a little bit of that in the back of our mind.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not going to comment anymore on that because yeah, I think I
because
can't
you're
speak
the
for everyone.
thorn between two roses, Darth.
Exactly. So if you guys should be able to see what I've pulled up on the screen here, which is the overall results for round 5 at Griffith at the Pine Speedway, in case you want to know the official name of the racetrack. And sitting on the top step was the 33 Lori Gow, our guest today, which is fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on. In second place, the 89er Taylor Street. Taylor, I didn't actually realise Taylor was there until about halfway through the meeting. Sorry, Taylor, no offence. I just wasn't watching the races much. And then I went, oh, that's 89. Oh, Taylor is here. So that was cool. I think yeah, she struggled a little bit. Actually, I saw a Facebook post. She admitted to struggling a bit on the TT. So a bit of work there, and then she'll be as strong as ever. Uh, but yeah, on the dirt track, she's shown and was really applying the pressure there. And in third place, who actually took out the overall championship and is the first Australian women's champion for AFTN flat track, is Brittany O'Brien. So congratulations, Brittany. We've never met. I don't actually know her at all. I hope she's really enjoying it, and I saw a good video of burnouts and that on the AFTN YouTube channel. That anyone's feel free to go and check that out. They put all their really cool edits and that they do on there. Just behind her was Matilda Heaton New, who we mentioned her little sister before as well. And Matilda is quite a handy rider. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll look at the overall results after. I'm not sure what rounds she missed and what ones she did make it to, but she scored pretty well. Followed by Molly and Ferry, Emma Scott, and then Tana Robinson. So this was all for round 5, not the series. Yeah, so good to see 7 women. How many do you think realistically we can get? Do you think we can get full grids? Like, 2 full grids or something?
Mm, I don't know if we're asking for a bit too much there. I don't know.
I
Definitely.
def I definitely think if we could get everybody uninjured and on the same grid at the same time, I definitely think you could go into heats.
Yeah.
I mean, like just some of the names that weren't there on the weekend: Chloe Ackley, Zoe Davis, Ruby from I can't remember Ruby's last name, but Ruby's down Broadford Way.
Yeah.
Kelsey Jensen, like Miley Robinson's out with injury at the moment. So there's another 5. So if you add 5 to 7, that's 12. So there's a full grid there.
Well, if you look here, we had 11 competitors. So this is the total series. No, that's round. Why does it say round 5?
Well, it does say provisional progressive championship points, though. Yeah, I think that is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
because
that
that
is the
includes
overall. So yeah, there's
yeah.
11. Yeah, because Kelsey was out on injury, so she ended up in 11th. So there's 11 competitors altogether.
So
So
that
Brie
includes the
Levy was,
results from Maryborough.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah, round.
Brie Levy wasn't there. Um,
Miley and Kelsey.
Miley wasn't. Yeah,
Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Latea Allen wasn't there.
Yeah.
So there's one, two,
Hmm.
three,
Three
four
there.
out of 11 that weren't there,
Yeah.
plus a few extra names that I threw in. So we're into
Yeah. And
250.
there's a couple dirt trackers that haven't switched across to flat track to 19-inch. So like Abby Wason. But I've talked to Abby a few times, try to give her the nudge every now and then. Because she also rides Suzuki. So and I've got a
Is
couple of
she keen?
Suzuki sets here that I want gone. So but anyway, yeah, she's concentrating on speedway and just dirt trackers across training. So,
Yeah,
but
she's a
it is
fantastic
great to
rider as
see.
well.
I'm really happy for the AFTN because we were a little bit nervous after the first try of having a women's class and only I think it was four competitors, maybe six at the most turning up. So it's really good to see that's more than doubled. Even if they couldn't all get there at the same time because of injury and that sort of thing, that's going to happen in our
Mm.
sport. It happens in the blokes as well. You see with the overall standings that a lot of guys weren't at Griffith, some weren't at Aubrey, etc., etc.
Hopefully it continues to, you know, hopefully prove that we were worth it and that we're, yeah, hopefully can continue to grow that number again next year if they'll have us.
Oh, look, I think they will have you. Like, I'd be really surprised if they went, no, that wasn't a good result. So I'd fall over actually if they said that because, yeah, they were banking on it. They really wanted to support a women's class. Now you know we have a
Mm.
pod, Lori. You can go back through some of the episodes and you'll hear some of the conversations we had, like with Mick Pillinger, who's race director or race manager for AFTN. I can't remember his title actually. Sorry, Mick. He's also the announcer, commentator,
Yeah, yeah.
and helps with a lot of social media. So,
Oh, he
yeah, we've
has
had
his own
lots of
podcast too, doesn't he? He's on Talk and Chatter, isn't he?
talk and chatter as well. Yeah, it's another good
Yeah.
Aussie podcast. But I am proud to say we are the only one that focuses on dirt track and flat track only. So we do talk a little bit of speedway and, a few of our sister sports, a bit of motard and stuff every now and then. That was more near the start, but now we have a series and the 19s is definitely growing in Australia. It's pretty much about that and open meetings, open dirt track meetings. Yeah.
We're coming up to our first state title ever for flat track too. So
Yeah.
that's in Kempsey on the 1st and 2nd of November. So that's exciting. So we've gone from a national title now to introducing a New South Wales state title. So the guys up at Macleay have been working to pull that together and yeah, bring us another 2 days of 1919 action.
Was that event a reschedule? A rain out? A reschedule that one?
I don't believe so,
Yeah,
but
because
I could.
they were going to be the first 19 state titles, but Victoria actually snuck in there and has stolen that for
When was
19s.
yeah, but it's not a 1919's class. It's an entire flat track event. So
Oh, it's a whole event.
yeah, yep. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
the New South Wales flat track state title,
Oh, I
MNSW.
missed that. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so it's yeah, sort of similar format to the more traditional AFTN race meets. So a dirt track on your oval on the Saturday and your TT on the Sunday with
Oh,
your
awesome.
yeah, so that's really, really exciting. So
It is exciting. I wish I could have supported that one, but I just can't. I can't keep travelling up there at the moment. So,
yeah, yeah.
so I'm going to Gunnedah though. And if they carry on and do it again next year, I'll do my very best to. I really wanted to go to the Kubra Classic as well. Kempsey's an awesome track. Have you ever ridden there, Laurie?
No, I haven't. No, never been there.
I've been told it's really awesome. I saw some photos after a Kubra and it does look like a good fun track to play on. So yeah.
Yeah, it's got similarities to Tamora. I think I've only ridden both of them or one each. I think it is, and yeah, it was a while ago now, but I'm pretty sure Yeah, I remember the layout being sort of similar. You come off the back straight and sort of go down into the turn and then into the right hander, and
Yeah.
yeah, similar sensations. Sort of harder oil as well too, not as loose as Griffith. I've got to say though, who prepped the track at Griffith's, Ange?
Tom
Oh,
Armstrong and his crew.
oh, he did, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he wasn't allowed to in case he got an advantage.
No, no. It's always been obviously very well publicized that Tom is obviously our main track curator along with the rest of the crew at Armstrong's plant hire.
Yeah,
Um, and I think it was something that was definitely discussed between officials and Tom, whether it was something that we felt we needed to raise. And I guess we just hope that a bit of common sense would prevail in the sense that, Tom's also out there racing. He's not going to put himself in danger or in trying disadvantage himself in trying to like obviously disadvantage other competitors and things
yeah,
like that. So I think everyone was pretty well understanding, and I guess, why wouldn't you want to race on a track that's been prepped by a racer? Like that's probably
yeah.
best case scenario, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got to say, hats off to them because I thought they did a fantastic job. There
Oh,
was, I think, was it three sort of decent maintenance periods, and the rest of the time it was awesome and like was all systems go. I mean, and
it
yeah,
probably
look, there
could
was a
have
couple
done.
little bits breaking up, but that's pretty typical of any track. I sort of thought it made it interesting anyway. It made it more interesting. You had to dig into your toolbox and use a bit of racecraft to go around a hole and that sort of stuff. It was
Oh,
it
all
was
all
really good.
easy for you to say while you're out there battling the machine, and I'm watching the riders bounce around and hoping that everyone holds on for dear life.
Yes.
In that last clubman race when Tyler Davies is almost Supermaned over his handlebars was a bit hairy for me. It took me a while for the
Right.
heart to slow down.
Yeah, I missed that one. I was doing something else down the back of the field.
Look, personally, if it was our own club race meet, I probably would have called for one more dusting of a
Oh
bit of
yeah,
track prep. Not necessarily as detailed as what was done earlier through the day, but just predominantly on that right hander and into our turn one. It's a bit of a problem area that does need a little bit of extra love for whatever the reason, just doesn't seem to hold up as well as the rest of the track. So for my heart rate, I definitely feel that one more lot of love would have been on the money, but
yeah, right.
everyone held on.
What about you, Laurie? How did you feel on the on track conditions on both circuits? Did you think they were good? Do you think it got a bit rough?
Well, I think the TT was great because there was so much like room of the track that you could use,
Yeah,
which I think was made for great racing in terms of people passing and having to dodge those little holes. But I think because it was relatively loose, it didn't feel as bad to me, I felt
yeah,
like when I hit them. But
yeah.
yeah, when we switched over to the other layout, it got a bit scary for me. I remember on the 12 lapper race, I on the second lap, I had a bit of a tank slapper coming into that dog leg, and I felt like for 10 meters, like my feet were off and all. So that ruined my confidence for that
Yeah,
race. But
yeah,
I
okay.
actually I managed to take the lead on the very last lap, which was awesome. But yeah, if I had to be really picky, I probably agree with Ange. In between the fourth round ending and starting of the fifth round, it probably might have benefited to yeah maybe go a little over that area there because it was pretty scary. Even me watching some of those fast guys going over those bumps, I was really worried. But I was so glad to see that nobody had any major accidents.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was really good actually on the incident side of thing. I don't. Was anybody amboed off? I don't think so. Was
No,
there? There was a
I
few low
think
sides, but
I think from memory there was only one rider that was treated by medical, and that was for grazers.
oh yeah,
Right,
yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
awesome.
we literally came away with a bit of skin off,
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. It was
which was
actually
awesome.
I was sort of, and this is going to sound weird, and it's just because I've ridden one, and I actually laid it down here at my house on the practice track. I'm talking about the twins class. It was good to see a couple of them go down and get up, no problem. And obviously, it would be a different story if one rode over the other or something. But in these cases, it was just low slides, low sides. I think it might have been Wildsmith front wheel washout. Shane had the new challenge of going right, and I believe his brake pedal hit the ground and jammed the brakes on. So that was something new, and then bent it a bit and caused a bit of drama for Shane Richards, which was a shame because he's pretty quick on that bolt.
We had one end up on the infield as well because their chain came off, and there was a few little hiccups, but those guys riding those big bulky machines, like I'd hate to lay one of those down and pick them up. Like they're heavy, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's not as bad as you think, and that's why I'm sort of glad that it's done, and it's happened now because before it hadn't happened. And if you look at their times, I'm pretty sure
I think they were really only like 2 or 3 seconds off the pace
they were
of the
pulling 25s.
Yeah.
Which is pretty bloody quick. Where are they? I can't see. Ange, where are my glasses?
Well, you're still in Maryborough by the looks of that, so you might need to come back to. Oh no,
no, round 5, Griffith.
There's no twins on there. Oh, go down because they weren't till
I'm not
later
down
in the day.
far enough. I've gone too high.
There we go.
There we go. Pro Twins Q16
qualifying. Or should we go qualifying 2? What one do you think they would have been more comfortable in?
2, definitely.
Towards the end of the day. They sat around for half the day, so it would have taken them, a few races to loosen up and get in there.
Yeah, so there you go. Ryan New, or Newy as we call him, is 25.388. It was his fastest lap. Then not far behind him was Ashley Wildsmith. He laid it down. Corey Banks on a Hoya Sung, which I didn't even know it was. Are they Korean or... I think they're Korean, aren't they?
I don't know. Hang on, let me Google.
I wouldn't have a clue.
So that was pretty cool to see that. So I did have a little sneaky at this, and I think there's 6 different brands.
Awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
South
6,
Korean
7.
conglomerate.
7. What was that, Ange? You sounded drunk. What'd you say?
I felt a bit drunk too, in fairness. They are Hyosung is a South Korean conglomerate that was founded in 1966.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, because you see a few road ones around, but you don't really hear heaps about them. So it's interesting that he chose that and Hyosung GT to ride. So I might look into them a bit more. We were missing a couple twins as well. So the O'Donnells with the CF Motos went there. Myself, I'm not racing the Harley because I'm tidying that up to auction off. Is there another one? No, there's a couple new ones. Bade Hunt's back on his 500, which is fantastic. I just need to, I don't know, I might need to edit this bit out. You may as well come and say hello. So, Sky, my middle daughter, which number are you? 2. Number 2. You have to come here. Actually, I don't know if they can see me.
Hey,
anyway.
Sky.
There you are. Hello.
Came over for tea, and she was meant to come Monday night. They changed the plans, and then I got told off for having a podcast on Wednesday and not being over to see you. So anyway, love you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye, Sky.
Bye to you too.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
So sorry, I had to get that out of the way. So either kids or dogs. The dog's actually behaving. I thought she was going to go ballistic when Sky pulled up for dinner a bit earlier. We've got 3 Kelpies.
3 Kelpies?
Yeah, she's actually gone. Tessie's the little black one, and she is exactly like a shadow. She's everywhere you are. So,
yes.
So she's got a pillow up here in my office that she sleeps on when I'm doing podcasts and officey stuff. So where were we? Sorry about that distraction.
That's
on
fine.
The twins. Any desire to have a go on a twin, Lori?
Oh, geez, I think I'd have to go to the gym to be able to hold on to one of those things.
To be honest, I beg to differ. Once you're moving, I actually think they're not that different than riding anything else, or riding a 450 even. The sensation's the same if it's set up. I made some changes. Mine's not set up, but I made some changes and it actually feels heaps better now. And yeah, you can back it in, and yeah, like I said, you sort of want to lay it down early so that you know what that feels like, and then you get confidence. Oh, that's where the boundary sort of is, you know.
I'm gonna go get Gremlin and bring him in to say hello. He's just started screaming. I'll be back.
So it would have to be a Honda Transalp twin for you, wouldn't it?
I'm not fussy. If I have a go, I'll have a go at anything, to be honest.
Yeah, right. So if anyone out there's got a twin and wants to let Laurie have a go,
Yep,
that'd be
I
good.
don't know.
I would
Yep,
love to let you
why
ride the
not?
Harley, but I don't want to have anyone ride it really before I auction it off, just in case
That,
something happens with it.
that's fair.
So yeah, as we were talking, those
Yeah.
times they're pretty quick. So I was in the Clubman and I was pulling 26 somethings about that. So what Shane Richards was doing back there in fourth. So that, yeah, three twins could have been in front of me in the Clubman class. And I dare say in Pro 450B because I know my times put me about third or fourth, and not that a single time dictates where you would finish, but you know gives you a rough idea of pace that you can carry in, and then the rest is up to racecraft. Yeah, so I think that's quite interesting considering they're twice as heavy.
Yeah, still very impressive times for sure.
Yeah, really good. So what we normally do is we'll go through the last race of the day. So AFTN doesn't really have a main event or a final. So they have four races, four heats, and then the accumulation of points over all the rounds, 7 rounds this time. Only 3 rounds for the ladies. And what's it end up being for the twins? They've got one more. So I don't need the maths. 4 or something rounds for the twin. Anyway, we'll start. Have we got you, Ange, or are you still with Levi?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
there he is. G'day, Levi.
I'm here. He's
So
just
we've got
woken up.
this is a real family affair. We had Sky popping for a visit. Now we've got young Levi. I don't think he's up to reading out results yet, though, is he?
Are you gonna read? Are you gonna talk to everybody?
Yeah.
No?
That
He's
answers
looking
that.
for mischief. When he comes in Mum's office, it's normally the calculator and the highlighters and everything else that he can get his hands on. So
All the fun stuff.
So what we'll do, we'll start down the bottom of the page there, which should give us all the last races of the day and the results. Obviously, there were different winners throughout the day, but it paints a bit of a picture for you. And we read out the top 10. So that's right, isn't
why
it?
don't
Junior
we,
Lights race 5.
why don't, instead of just going through the last race, why don't we just go through the results, the top 10 results for the day?
Oh yeah, can do that too.
I don't know. I don't want to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
in
yeah. No, that's good.
tell you
Yeah,
how to run
that's
your show.
no, that's better. That's better. That's hot in here.
Probably
This is why
Don't
I
good
need.
take off
too.
all your clothes.
No, you don't want me to do that, seriously. Uh, that's why I have co-hosts and people helping me out because I do ditzy shit. So, so yeah, round 5. So we've done the women's. Congratulations, ladies. First champion for AFTN, and well done, Lori, for winning a round. It's a shame you didn't do more. We could have seen you up there, I reckon, for sure. You did say, though, that you did 450s, 450B at Aubrey, and we'll see that if we do the series points.
Yeah.
So do you want to read that out, Ange?
Yeah, sure. So our junior 85 round points for round 5 of the Aussie Flat Track Nationals at Griffith. In the number 1 position, we have the 231 machine of Georgie Holcomvis. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, Georgie. In number 2, we have the 107 machine of the local boy Young Brody Ford. In 3rd position, the number 5 machine of Hugo Holmes. 4th, we have the number 26 machine of Jai French. 5th, the 43 machine of Flynn Beard. 6th, the 976 of Lucy Heaton New. 7th, the 122 of Bo Baker, in 8th, we have the 58 machine of young Roy Duggan. 9th, we have the 131 of Angus Persin, and 10th, we have the 117 of Chad Armstrong.
Yeah, awesome work, and well done to all the riders in the top 10 there, and of course everyone that entered the event. George Holmquist is from up in Queensland. We've actually had a podcast with his dad. You can go back through the episodes and find that one. Yeah, as you said, Brody Ford. I actually missed a lot of the 85 racing because I was on the dummy grid when they were out. So I did hear some of the dads talking afterwards, and it seemed like there was some great battles happening on by the sounds of it. What was your point of view on the 85s? Were you watching the racing, Ange, or were you busy doing stuff?
I
What do you do?
what what do I do? So this weekend I was obviously one of the assistant clerks for the weekend. So my responsibility was to obviously operate the start light. So part of the responsibility of that is watching for riders who have obviously started rolling before the light goes off.
Oh yeah.
Or like they've jumped before the light signals that the race has started, and then I communicate with the head clerk of the course for the day, and he or she will generally red flag the race and restart it, and the jumpers will go to the penalty line. What else was I doing on the weekend? I was responsible for watching for riders who were trying to take some sneaky little shortcuts on the track. In a nutshell, it's just I'm basically a witness. So I'm out there to make sure that if there are any racing incidents, I witness it. I have an understanding of who and what caused the accident. Was it just an innocent racing incident, or was it potentially malicious? Are people doing untoward things on the track that they're not supposed to do? And obviously in a lot of circumstances when there are accidents and things like that, we're the first responder as well. So yeah, luckily I didn't have to do that on the weekend, but
Yeah, no, that is good.
the
Sorry.
85 racing is always cutthroat.
Yeah, they're very quick. We might, if we get a chance, we might go back and have a look at the times too. So, moving up to the junior lights, who are extremely quick. Actually, I know what some of the times were, and I'm embarrassed to say that they would have been whipping my ass. But well, I'm not embarrassed. Everyone knows that anyway. So on the top step, after the round 5 in the 177 machine of Nico Donovan took out the top step, there's only 9 there, which I thought was interesting. I'm not sure why the numbers are a little bit low. In second place, 23, Jed 5. Third place, 12, Lenny Duggan. Fourth place, 6, a few Hodgets. Fifth place, Johnny Cooper, the 713 machine. Sixth place, 31, Jared Banks. Seventh place, 27, Taj Edwards. Eighth place was the 66 of Riley Fennick, and ninth place was 26, Indy Wildsmith. Now on the dirt track, Riley Fennick, who's, to be fair, is learning the 19s also, and he's doing a great job. Well, he's pretty new to track in general, and he did well at the TT. Needed to pull his socks up a little bit to reach his personal goals, I think. So I said, oh, well, on the next one on the dirt track, we'll make a bit of a bet. You've got to do better times than me, and I'll give you some fork protectors. So unfortunately, he did better times than me, so I had to give him some fork protectors.
Good
And
one, Riley.
apparently that also cost, well, I'm pretty sure Dan, his dad, said that he would get him a new seat cover as well if he could, and he did. So that was fantastic. Bit of motivation. I don't think it was too hard, to be fair.
Next time you're talking to Riley, ask him where his transponder is.
Oh.
We've been hunting for Riley's transponder for some time now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It went MIA after an event at Griffith.
Oh, I'm sure Dan said they were taking it back.
No, so the ones you used on the weekend were AFTN ones, but Riley's own personal one.
Oh, right. See, sorry.
Yeah, it went missing, I think, in that double header that we had earlier earlier in the year. And yeah, I've had a few messages off Dan saying, I think I know where it is. No, I don't. Can you look for it? Is it at your track? I think we know where it. No, it's not. So yeah, transpondent never to be seen again.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Because you need the practice, Ange, do you want to do the twins? And then we'll get Lori to read out the clubman.
Yeah, sure. So the twins class in the number one, on the number one step, we have the 31 machine of Corey Bank. In second, we have the 666 machine of Ashley Wildsmith. In third, 267 of Ryan New. In fourth, the 426 of Peter Smith. Fifth, the 138 machine of Keely Pritchett. The sixth position went to Dan Lawrence on the 184 machine. Seventh to the 737 machine of Rocco Nardi. And in eighth, last but not least, we have the 22 machine of Bede Hunt.
Yeah, cool. Rocco Nardi's a pretty cool name, isn't it?
Yeah. I went to school with Rocco. He's
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So one thing that sticks out to me there is that in qualifying, our fastest lap scorer, Ryan New, didn't actually end up in first place. And that's the thing, when you're talking times, it doesn't mean that you're going to win just because you qualified first. It just means you've got an advantage being on the front row. The other thing we haven't talked about is this time we had progressive grids, which I thought was fantastic. Did they? Actually, I think you got. We don't really need to go back to the women's class, but yeah, just to clarify and make sure I got my facts right. Yeah, you had what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 straight wins in a second. So progressive grid wouldn't have bothered you too much, Lori.
No, I was sort of the determining factor of, are we going to go inside or are we going to go outside? But I ended
What
up
was
picking,
your preference, Laurie?
I picked the inside every time. I didn't change it up. I'm a bit of creature of habit, and
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, went to the inside each time.
Yeah.
And so you got the whole shot every time, or you had to work it a couple times?
Pretty sure I got the whole shot most of the times, or we sort of, I think Brittany was pretty good on her starts as well, and we'd sort of go off together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
And
Yeah,
obviously,
I prefer the middle to outside from starting.
So you prefer to start on the wall? Like at our track, for example, Dash, you prefer to start on the wall?
That was working for me at Aubrey. It didn't work so much the one time that I did at your track,
Yeah,
because
okay.
the holes didn't really open up in turn 1 and 2 like they can at Aubrey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still good. I actually, funnily enough, I had my best starts on the inside, which is unusual. There was one where I could have gone really hard, but I was pretty sure I was going to take out your partner, and I thought that's not really a good move. So I didn't push the issue.
I'm
All
sure he
right,
would appreciate that.
so yeah, so everyone's eyes are on you now, Laurie. Let's see how you go at reading out some results for our clubman class.
oh geez, I'm not going to be as
Just
amazing.
the top 10, just the top 10.
Okay, so first place was Sam Hollins. Second place was Cooper Carney. Third place was Reece Irvine. Fourth place was Neil Girdler. Fifth place, Tyler Davies. Sixth was James Glennon. Number 7 was another Glennon, Alex. Number 8, Reece Sando. 9, Wesley Barnes. And 10, Jason Griffin.
Fantastic. Did that like a pro. You've done this before. What's your job again? Do you do a lot of talking in your job?
I'm an occupational therapist, so yes, I
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to patients all day long.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. Talk and oh yeah. Yeah, the heat's really getting to me.
You're getting a bit red.
yeah. Yeah, it's a funny one because you've got some really, really quick guys in there. That pulling times that are the same as A group, and I do hope that this is. I've heard rumours that there will be a different system next year. I'm not going to go any further because I don't know whether it's true or not. I can hardly remember who said it to me. But yeah, I sort of hope it does. I was talking actually, funnily, I think it was Wesley Barnes. He sort of said, who he took out Aubrey rounds, and he said, but I'm getting used to the setup, and I understand that, but you're still pulling A level times. So which to me means that you obviously have good racecraft and good skills. So I think if there was an ABC system from qualifying, I think that would be fantastic to see. Could possibly make the racing a little bit tighter and more interesting too for the spectators. Hopefully not dangerous. Any thoughts on that, Laurie? Do you like the way the current system is?
I'd have no complaints, but it does, I suppose, make sense to probably, yeah, if you're topping out in one class the next year, I do think that they need to move up to make way for the other people who are,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
true clubman people and the people who are getting back into the sport or, learning and yeah. So I do like the idea of the A, B, and C.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I find a bit crazy is that to qualify for clubman, but you don't have to qualify for Pro 450. Obviously, it's got the extra 18 spots because there's an A and a B.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually, for me, it's made clubman really challenging, which I don't mind. I'm not complaining about that. I'm learning a lot as well, which is going to make me a better rider. But that does seem crazy when really it's a support class and the focus, especially the national focus, should be on the 450 class, which is really the premier class. So I'd like to see those guys up there, and it would make the racing even more interesting again. So that was the series. Sorry, the round points, not the series points. I think we're going to round this out just quickly, and we'll go again and do a lap. But you will
Mr.
see.
Clubman himself. We were
Yeah.
just saying how
Oh, good, eh?
if you're at the top end of Clubman, you should be booted up into the Pro 450. So
Yeah, no, I'm going pro next year. I'll get my ass kicked in pro.
Bad bloody time.
That's good.
all right.
The dad's just got home by the looks of it.
Oh, he's been home for a little while, but yeah, just he's just had his dinner and done all that sort of stuff. So yeah, he can
Oh.
take the little one now.
Oh, we'll give Ange back to you in a minute, Goods. We're just going to
No,
go
you
through
go.
the series points, and then
Just pull
I
that door
think
shut.
Can you heat him up some dinner?
everyone will go to their evening. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to know what he's having, what Levi's having. Is he having a bottle or some mash or something? Or
Tonight it will probably be. I've been a bit lazy, so he's been getting like a lot of instant, like already cooked, like already prepped sort of food. But it'll be probably either like a bolognese or some sort of mush.
sounds good. It's funny, isn't it? When we start off as a baby, we eat mush, and when we end up in an old person's home, we eat mush. Um,
Well,
gee-
it's quite funny actually. I don't know whether you guys would know. I know some people do, but I actually had weight loss surgery back in 2017. And so that pretty much meant that I came out of hospital with the eating habits of a baby and had to like work my way all the way back up to solid food. So with Levi, I've kind of got that cookbook back out again, and yeah, I'm
oh
drawing
yeah,
drawing a few recipes from my progressive days.
yeah, all right. Oh, that's
Mm.
interesting. After 5 rounds, series points for the Junior 85 stand at this. Bo Baker's leading the charge, followed by Jai French, Flynn Beard, Brodie Ford, Lucy Heaton-New, George Holmquist, Roy Duggan, Chad Armstrong, Jake Straney, and Crew Tulloch.
I'm just looking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 5 are all basically Griffith locals. Like Tom Herrick will claim him because West Wylong's track's not up and functional at the moment. But yeah, Griffith's pretty much taken out the top 5 there.
It
Um,
sort of makes sense, doesn't it?
yeah.
Home track.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's formally announce it. Instead of my brain fart. So in first position we have the King of the Pines himself, number 52, Billy Ryan. In second place we have the number 18 machine of Tom the Track Curator Armstrong. In third place we have the number 1 machine of Thomas Herrick. In fourth, the 475 of Brandon Burns. In fifth, the 222 machine of Callum Butcher, who, hats off to Callan, also took out the Super Pole for the day. In
Yep, thank you.
sixth, we have the 387 of Michael Kirkness. Seventh, the 176 of Daniel Wicks. In eighth, we have Cooper Archibald on the 87 machine. Ninth, the J25 of Jet Carter. In 10th, we have the 38 machine of Mr. Ben Grabham.
Yeah, fantastic. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, got a bit lost there. So that was round points for Pro 450.
I take my eyes off you for 30 seconds,
I
Darcy,
know
and
it
you go
doesn't take
rogue.
much. You know, all the things Tom says about me are true. You know that. So junior lights gain the series points. So as the series stands after 5 rounds, would you like to read this one, Laurie?
Sure, I'll have a go. Okay, so this is series championship points to date, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Oh, okay. Well, Albury Wodonga local up first,
Yeah.
in 5 in first place. Second is Nico Donovan, and in third place is Hugh Hope. Fourth is Lenny Duggan. Fifth is Taj Edwards. Sixth is Johnny Cooper. Seventh place is Max Carter. Eighth place is Jared Banks. Ninth is Reich Haller. 10th place, Riley. Oh, how do you pronounce that last name?
Fennick.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's really good. Young Riley, who I was talking about before, tenth is not to be sneezed at all. Hopefully, you can improve on that a bit. I'm pretty sure they're going to Gunnedah. And looking at the points up the top there, it's between first and second, still anyone's really. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting rounds at Gunnedah. And both Nico and Nico and Jed are yeah, pretty spectacular to watch on the oil as you saw up at Griffith. But yeah, Gunnedah is another sort of beast, isn't it? A different sort of beast to Griffith being the hard oil, and I've always been told it's a horsepower track, so I don't expect my bike's going to do that great there, but we'll give it
It's
a read.
always so hot too. Like
Yeah.
the last 2 years at Gunnedah have been, yeah, insanely hot. Like last year, I didn't watch any of the racing pretty much. I watched it all on the live timing and sat in the caravan.
I will do Clubman Series points. So Sam Hollins is on the top step. So this is after 5 rounds of racing of AFTN. Reese Irvin is in second. Wesley Barnes is in third now. Tyler Davies is in fourth. Cooper Carney fifth. Neil Girdler in sixth. Alex Lennon seventh. Reef Sandow eighth. James Glennon ninth. Jason Griffin rounding out the top 10. So if you go and look at the results yourself, you'll be able to see like who actually competed at what rounds. If there's no numbers there, it means they weren't at that round, etc., etc. There's a bit of Sam's got a bit of a lead now. What would you have to do? You'd have to win every race, wouldn't you, if you're reserving?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Well,
yeah, that could be quite contested as well. Second's quite a bit tighter. Actually, second, third, and fourth. Yeah, they could all have a good crack. Tupacani, if
Sam would
he's up at Gunnedah.
basically Sam would basically either have to consistently come last at Gunnedah or not go at all, and
Yeah,
Reese win every race,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. I always forget to look at the points. So I'm making, because Tom's not here to remind me, I'm making extra effort tonight. So the twins, their last round will be on the first day at Gunnedah. Would you like to read that out, Ange?
In the first position on the top step, we have the 666 machine of Ashley Wildsmith. In second, the 267 of Ryan New. In third, 426 of Pete Smith. In fourth, we have the 138 of Keely Pritchett. In fifth, we have the 31 machine of Corey Banks. In sixth, we have Christian O'Donnell. Seventh, Shane Richard. Eighth, Daniel Lawrence. Ninth, Rocco Nardi. And 10th, Bede Hunt.
Yeah, cool.
So
And
Ash maintains his lead there.
yeah, so he's maintained his lead, and I just want a special mention to Pete Smith on I didn't think it was a KTM. I thought it was a Ducati he was on. But yeah, he looked a lot more comfortable this time. I think they've done a few more things to that bike, and yeah, it's looking good, Pete. So yeah, well done, good riding. It's in there with a fight, and now it will be pro because we've done pro woman series points. We know who won that. Second, third. So it's pro 450. So after 5 rounds of racing, we've got 18 Tom Armstrong up the top. Thomas by last year's champ Thomas Herrick. Uh, it's actually really interesting looking at who's sitting where after watching who was winning and who wasn't up at Griffith.
Yeah,
So yeah, and all these riders are going to be strong up at Gunnedah too, so it's going to be a real good battle down the end
Tom,
there.
the two Toms, Tom Armstrong and Tom Herrick, is almost a repeat of going into Gunnedah last year with Toma and Jared Brooks. So it's going to
Yeah,
be
right.
interesting because yeah, Toma Herrick definitely has the ability to pull it all together and make it count at Gunnedah. So
Yeah, for
yeah, it's
sure.
going to be really interesting to watch the racing for that one. So.
It will be, yeah. So carrying on there, sorry, third is Daniel Wicks, fourth Billy Ryan, fifth Cameron Dunker, sixth Ben Grabham, seventh Jet Carter, eighth Brandon Burns, ninth Ronan Jacobs, who wasn't here. I think he got injured actually. Tenth
He did get injured.
Dale Borlis. Yeah.
The weekend of the Vic titles, I believe he was at a club day at Brisbane and ended up in quite a nasty accident. So yeah, hopefully he's on the road to recovery.
One thing I did forget to do as well is when we're looking at the round points. So we didn't mention, we didn't mention the B group. So I do want to mention that because they're still fighting uh, in their heats as well. And I was really proud Daniel Leonetti bringing one of our wheel sets home and claiming the $2 voucher, $200 voucher as well. So well done, Dan. He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was in top performance mindset at the start of the day, and he really battled and pulled himself out of that and
Mm.
listened to his mentor and relaxed and enjoyed the racing. A bit like I heard someone else's mentor say that too, and yeah, stop getting angry and just relaxed and actually won some races. So that was fantastic. So well done to Daniel Leonetti.
On
Collins also from Aubrey put on some great races against Dan and Ryan New as well. Those three were really giving each other a crack the whole time.
on
Sorry,
behalf
Ange.
of on behalf of Tom, I just want to give a shout out to our good friend Gary Routman. I know Tom will kill me if I don't give Gaz the shout out. So I've ticked that box, Tom.
No, Gary still gave it a push now.
Gary ended up on the front line.
He did, yeah.
I have photos of Gary. Gary was on the front line. So well done, Gaz. We are ridiculously proud of you, mate.
Yeah.
Your consistency has prevailed.
And he has no shame, so he will take it no matter which way it comes. And I respect that, Gary, because that's awesome. And I was going to
Fun
ask you.
fact,
Oh,
fun fact,
sorry.
Gaz was my first race meet as a clerk at Griffith, and Gaz had a bit of a slip and fall as you do, caused a bit of a red flag, and then tried to sneak back onto the start grid. So obviously dirt track rules. So yeah, Gaz was the first rider I've ever excluded from a race as a clerk. So thanks, Gaz. You took it like a champ.
I was going to ask you, Laurie, is Brock a relation?
No, I had no idea.
I had that written down and highlighted to ask you. I thought he was
Yeah.
your brother.
No, no brothers in this family. It's all girls.
No
No,
cousin that you know of? Or?
no, I definitely
Yeah,
know there's some gals up north. Like I've done the Troy Bayliss Classic at Taree for a few years, and there
yeah.
was a gal that raced up there. But no relation that I know of.
Yeah, right. So what heritage does Gow come from?
I think it is sort of like the Scotland, Wales
Oh, okay.
area, many,
Yeah,
many years.
cool.
Hmm.
All right. So that completes all the results, I think, isn't it, Ange? Have I missed
I think
anything?
I think so.
No, I
If you
think
got
that's it. So I can stop sharing that and we can see our pretty faces again. That's it. Hey, I'm pretty impressed. It's only taken a year or so for me to be able to do all that. Change screens and not totally balls it up. I do try to handball it to Tom as much as possible, though. Yeah, so look, I think overall it was a fantastic weekend. There was lots of little memories that are coming back to me across the working week, and I'm sitting in the bus thinking, "Oh, that's right." One of them was was Riley Chaplin's emptying half his fuel all over the track, probably
Yes.
more than half actually, and I said to him, I came around the corner and I see this bike on the track and fuel everywhere. Like it was everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going, who is that? Oh, that's Riley. And my first thought wasn't, oh, I hope he's all right. It was, how the hell did he get in front of me? Yeah, but he crashed on the prior lap. So that relieved me. I felt much better after that.
The women's class was we were sort of ready to go for the next race there, and I saw that and I was like, oh geez, that's going to be slippery. But yeah, then Ange, I think you got a few people to bring some brooms out and swept it all sort of over, and then it was
Yeah, I'm definitely not our canteen ladies favorite person because yeah, I
Oh, was it ever?
definitely boycotted the canteen's brooms to fix the track. So definitely not her favorite person. So I best be making a trip to Bunnings to get her some new brooms this week.
That's fun. Yeah, it's funny because we had a staggered restart after that, and
yeah.
my line was actually right over that, and I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, oh, it was actually Wesley Barnes in front of me, and then me, and I was thinking, if he loses it on there, I'm gone. And if I lose, because it was quite wide, it did spread quite a bit.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
I
it did.
noticed you were just there, and I was like, I'm glad you're going straight and not, going into the corner sort of first.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it didn't seem to cause any problems. But it was quite a funny moment.
What can I say? I know how to use a broom, okay?
Yeah. Another one was sitting in the pits and a bottle smacked me in the back of the head. And Laurie will know this young gentleman, Nicholas Berry. And so I had to chase him, jump on him, and try to rub the hair off his head. I don't know what you call that in Australia. Apparently, it's a logie or a noggy or something. I don't
A
know.
noogie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you do that, yeah. So that was a bit of fun. I've been wanting to jump on Nicholas for years. So now he gave me a reason. So there's lots of naughtiness going on, but no drinking or thons as far as I know, Ange, in the pits.
Good,
I think
good.
everyone behaved. They didn't want to get their rider kicked out, so that was good. Race highlights for myself was basically Timothy Holder, Pete Smith, just battling with them all weekend. And, sometimes it go my way. Unfortunately, against Pete, it went Pete's way the whole time. His blocking game was just too good. My lap times were a little bit faster, corner speed. I'm too friendly sometimes. I actually heard on the radio not long ago about how nice guys don't win, and it's true because I told him, I said, Pete, you're going too slow into that corner. You're backing off too soon. And then the next two races, he was like three bikes in front of me each time. So that was a mistake. Then it's sort of when we went back to dirt track, it was sort of the same again. Yeah, it was me, Pete, and Timothy. Timothy's really fast, but just had a few bad starts, I think. And there was a couple penalties given by someone about people going over the white line, I think, and that pushed Reece Sandow and a couple others to the back row in one heat of the TT, which was an advantage to me, but it didn't last very long. I think they were about a second and a half faster. So,
Can I just highlight those penalties were not me?
oh, were
In
they not?
fairness, I did not actually see Tyler and Reese cut the track. That's not me saying that it didn't happen, but that they definitely were not my
Well, look, and that
doing.
everyone knows those calls have to be made, and the races do sort it out. Like there was a couple lap board issues, and that got sorted out.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple confusing moments, and that does happen in these meetings. For instance, Dan and Hudson were having a battle. Dan sort of got pushed off the track. I believe it was by Hutto, and then Hutto gave him the position straight back, but Dan still got penalised.
No, no.
Not right.
Okay. All right. Let's talk. Let's bring the team. So yes, that did occur with Hutto and Dan, and I commended both of them on their sportsmanship because
Yeah.
they both clearly had respect and accountability for the incident that had happened. So Hutto's like putting his hand up in the air, going, "It's me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." But
Yeah.
no, in that race, Dan had actually cut the track in 2 other laps. It actually wasn't around that incident at all.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
Then he deserves the penalty then. Yeah.
so yes, I think a lot of because a lot of people obviously did see that bit of push and shove between the two boys, and Dan obviously did leave the track as a result of, a racing incident. I think it was very easy to jump to the conclusion that that's where the problem lied when it came to the penalty.
Yeah, well, that's what we thought it was. Yeah.
But no, it actually wasn't. Dan had been a bit cheap in the clerk, like in the head clerk of the course's eyes. Dan had been a bit cheeky and tried to take a couple of shortcuts in a couple of the other races. So,
right.
Yeah, so no, I just wanted to clarify that, that call was definitely not around that racing incident. So,
Yeah,
I mean, there was one where like Jason Griffin, he must have overshot the runway or, was trying to avoid someone, and he came on the TT circuit near where I was sort of standing on the off ramp. Jace has sort of come down and come off the track. When as officials, I feel we're never going to be unfair and penalise as a result of a racing incident.
Yeah, that was actually quite easy to do. I don't know about you, Lori, but I had a couple laps where I stuck left, and then I tried to go hard through the right hander, and you end up out quite wide, and you get real close. That line comes up so quick, and you sort of have to push hard left to sort of come back in to start lining up with the left hander. And I almost went over the line. But I did check my tyres, Ange, when I got in there, and there was no white chalk on them. So
look, white chalk is fine
as long as I brushed it off real quick.
White chalk is fine so long as white chalk on the front, white chalk on the back, and white chalk on the foot don't happen all at the same time. So if you've got your front and your foot out, you're okay. It's when that back tire joins the party that you're in trouble.
So did you have any worrying moments during the racing like that, Laurie? Or you had pretty smooth sailing, really, didn't you, apart from that tank slipper?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. It was just that one sort of moment there where it ruffled my feathers a little bit. But yeah, otherwise, felt pretty smooth sailing for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And so from your perspective, Ange, actually, that's one thing. Could you, from in the pits, I couldn't hear Mick's announcing. Could you hear it all around the track? I could hear people cheering and stuff. So I was assuming they could.
I didn't actually make it over to like the spectators area over the other side of the track, so I'm unsure how audible it was over that side. For me, in the center of the track, it's quite funny because like I've come away from the race meet laughing about Tom Armstrong's brother Dave and his comeback on the weekend. He's the funniest person to listen to on the infield. So I can hear the riders self-commentating to themselves or reprimanding themselves when they've done something they're not happy with. But I can't honestly say that in the middle of racing that I can actually, probably not a case of I can't hear it. It's probably that I'm consciously not listening to what's going on while the race is happening. But but I can hear what riders are yelling out from under their helmets when when things are happening out there, which is always quite entertaining.
And do we have any idea of what sort of crowd numbers we had there? Because I think that's got to be the best crowd AFTN's had,
I
surely.
spoke to Dave Maddock, obviously the organizer of AFTN on Monday, and he said around around 1,000 people through the gate, which was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What do you? Because you get good club meeting turnouts too. Are they that good, or was that quite a bit more?
No, that far outweighed our expectation. We have been that Spectators Hill. We have been known to have that bumper to bumper with like cars and stuff like that. But it apparently over in that spectators area, it got to the point where like our runoff area. So generally, as like you guys would have seen, the cars park up around our Spectators Hill. If you go over to that side, there's a whole lot of dead space into the corner of the venue that normally is like untouched land, and apparently it was bumper to bumper with cars. It got to the point where they couldn't let any more cars into the venue. Apparently, yeah, cars were parking up on the outside of the venue and then walking in. So yeah, it was incredible. Like from a committee perspective, we could not have asked for anything more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool. And
Yeah.
you, Laurie, did you notice the crowd? Did you pay any attention to them at all? Or?
Yeah, I could definitely see them when you sort of like you can see them on your right hand side as you're going down the straight and you know the turn before you get onto the straight. I could see them all out there. Yeah, it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite cool because you could see some of them were leaning in, like when you're going by the wall to sort of. I don't know if there was a bit of a blind spot or what they were trying to see, but or if it was just me thinking they're leaning because we're going so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was cool, and there was lots of cheer. I could hear the cheering and stuff. Yeah, it was a good atmosphere. I thought.
Did you
Uh,
guys see the homemade grandstands that were over there where the boys had like
Yes.
parked their utes up and they'd put like a shelf so that they could all so they had like two level seating.
yeah, and did they camp the night there? Because I saw a few cars there in the morning on that side.
I don't think anyone camped over that side.
Maybe
But I
left their
am glad
cars
to
there.
hear that there was some cars left behind,
Yeah, that's
definitely.
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was definitely. There was a bit of what do you call it? Heckling. There was a bit of heckling going on. I couldn't hear what they were heckling, but
Yeah,
it is
well,
good to have that happening.
we had some of like they call themselves the old boys club, and they're like, our life members and long-term supporters of Griffith Motorcycle Sports Club, and they actually had like a barbecue and everything going on over there, and there's 30 of them packed into tents, and I'm standing out in the middle of the track shooing flies going, oh my God, that barbecue smells absolutely phenomenal. I don't know what was on the menu, but geez, it smelled good. Better than your average Bunnings sausage, anyway.
Yeah, you had to get the fly mention in. I'm glad you did because I forgot about the flies. We were talking
Oh,
about it
they
earlier
were
off here.
unwanted spectators.
Yeah,
It was
they were bad.
pretty bad. Did you eat? Do you eat? Actually, that's a good question. Do you eat during racing, Laura?
I thought you were going to say, do you eat flies?
Eat the flies. I try not to eat the flies, but definitely I do
That was
eat.
pretty hard not to.
Yeah, the flies were pretty bad, but no, I definitely think eating and your nutrition, your hydration can be a pretty vital component to your race day. Well, for me
Yeah,
anyways. Yeah.
yeah. I'm only starting to get better at doing it because I don't generally like eating while I'm doing physical activity. But yeah, my hydrating, I've gotten a lot better at staying hydrated because I think that makes a massive difference. But I usually have like up and goes and muesli bars and nuts, and that's about it. I don't like anything heavy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually did have a couple burgers and a sausage because it wasn't just the spectators' barbecue that smelt good. My wife Catherine and youngest daughter Willow had a barbecue, and I mean, yeah, I'm going to have some.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was awesome. So I think that's probably about a wrap. Everyone's looking like they could be. Well, I know I was ready for bed before I started this podcast, to be honest. A bit of a sook, but Lauren, thanks so much for coming on. Is there any sponsors that you'd like to mention? And also, the other question I keep meaning to ask before I asked you that other question was, are you going to be coming back to AFTN? We're going to see you at Gunner Day. Are you going to do more 19s? What's the go?
You definitely will see me on 19s again. I don't think we'll make the trip to Gunnedah because there isn't the women's class probably. But I'll be really interested to see what sort of rounds that they have on offer for the women's class next year. It's definitely something that I'll consider. But yeah, I suppose sponsors wise, Intersales are a big one, Buzzers Bikes and Bits, and then TJ Air Conditioning.
Yeah, awesome. So we haven't convinced you that this is the sport you want to do all the time and you're going to come and race the Clubman or the 450 yet then.
I'll think about it.
Landscaping, Darcy, work, university, money.
Yeah, wedding. I heard engagement there too. So when
Yeah,
is your wedding?
I mean,
When's the big day?
we don't have any plans yet at the moment. We're still trying to, it'd be really hard to pay for a mortgage, pay for landscaping, and pay for a wedding. So we'll try and finish the landscaping, then start planning a wedding.
Why don't you just come up to Gunnedah 15th and 16th and get married at the track? I'll marry you. I'm not a legal celibate, but why not?
I'm sure we can look
Married at the
into
race.
some Google courses. I'm sure there's like marriage celebrant
It's
courses on Google.
$600 become a celebrant, I think it is.
Oh, that's cheap, really, isn't it? So
Yeah.
the question would be then, do I wear my motorbike gear or do I wear a white dress?
Well,
Well,
that's
you
up to
wear
you.
white
Maybe.
motorbike gear.
Yeah, maybe sew the dress into your gear. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you just have a white motorbike gear with like a bridal dress, like a bridal skirt sewn over the top. We'll attach a veil to your helmet.
Lots of options here, isn't there?
Yeah,
Definitely.
sorted.
Look,
Yeah,
I
we've got
do
your back.
offer professional flower girl services as well, okay? So
And
I've
there's a
got you
little
covered.
page boy stuffing his face in the kitchen. So it's all done.
Yep.
It's all sorted.
Yeah, we can make this happen.
You solved it for me.
Who needs Gunnedah Canteen put on a good feed, so catering's taken care of.
Absolutely. And you can take some good photos, I'm sure. So we're sorted.
We're sorted.
Oh, you got dark eye photography in that there. Yeah, I'm sure they could work out a package for you.
Yeah, well, that's right. They were charging what, $50, I think it was, for the media packages for AFTN for the competitors. So I'm sure we can do like a competitor plus wedding special, 2 for 1.
Yeah, for sure. I reckon that sounds fantastic. Might be a little bit earlier than you were planning, but
Definitely.
Well, I definitely don't think at this rate, Das, we're getting an invitation to the real wedding. That's for sure.
yeah, no, that's fair enough.
So expensive, aren't they? It's crazy.
Oh, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. You're better off
That's why
telling
we
them
had
that
a hungy at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better off telling him that it's just a get together.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much once again for coming on. And hopefully we can get you back on here once you've won the AFTN Flat Track Championship next year.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cool. And everyone knows what to do. Thanks, Ange, for taking time out of your day. Keep it sideways,
good.
guys. Go Flat Tracker.
Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go, go.